Hey, I'm back. That's right. What's up, peeps? It's me. Uh, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've streamed, but I'm back. Uh, the transition to college has been difficult, to say the least. One second. Been very busy. Definitely, trying to make the transition has been a lot of work. Haven't had time to do a lot, but I'm back and I'm streaming and I'm gonna try throwing this on YouTube again, and it's gonna be a good time. We all gonna have a good time. Let's do it. I have just been going hardcore on Modern Warfare, man. I actually hit max prestige in Infinite Warfare, and then I kind of felt like I should make progress in Modern Warfare Remastered because this really is one of the greatest games of the past year. It's definitely something incredible. That's why we're playing it. Oh my god, it feels so good to be back, man. I miss this. I miss streaming. I missed you guys. Some of you miss me. That's good enough. Yeah.
Team deathmatch. Let's do this, Marines.
You can see I'm quite decked out. I've put a lot of work into my weapons. This one especially. Beautiful stuff. And the game's already screwing me over.
Enemy UAV is airborne.
Bop! That's why you don't play around in these parts. Because I'm here. When I'm here, you can't be. And then the game decides to screw me over again. Hey!
Our UAV is online.
I love Martyrdom. Everyone else hates it, but it works wonders.
Our UAV is online.
I'm not even gonna comment on that. Actually, I need to play some S&D. That is where the real fun is. I mean, EDM is cool and all, but there's no suspense. It's like when you die, whatever, you come back. S&D, that would mean something. So I guess I should talk a bit about my plans for streaming. I have actually very little free time in college. Well, actually, that's not true. Split schedule. Most of it is taken up with football and class and stuff like that. And then, of course, during a lot of my free time, I have to do a lot of homework, things like that. But I have been trying to squeeze in game time where I can. Want to stream daily, which is very difficult to do, but I'd like to try it. And if I'll probably stream weekly. Like, try to stay consistent somewhat. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, not like I have a lot of you guys to disappoint anyways, but for those of you that watch, I appreciate it. I'm bringing those quality streams. Bop, 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 bop. That's why you can't play around.
UAV recon standing by. Our UAV is online.
Definitely feels good to be back though. That is bottom line. I've missed this quite a bit.
Our UAV is online.
And then the game decides to screw me over again. Bop. And then teammate takes my kill. Bop.
Our UAV is online.
Feels good, man. I really want to hit max prestige in this game. I find that will probably be very difficult because there's like 25 prestiges. And I actually played the World War II beta freaking loved it. Like, that game is insane. Just so much fun. So I know as soon as it comes out in November, I'm going to be spending all of my time on that. And I don't even know if I'll touch MWR again. It would be cool to hit max prestige in this one.
Enemy UAV is airborne.
I also wanted to bring back Houston and Mike and everyone, and Mike still gets on sometimes. Houston never gets on because he's at some where I guess he's not allowed to have fun. So I essentially can't stream with him anymore. He said the only games he can play are on his computer because that's all they'll for classes. That's the only device that he can try to play games on, so it is probably are going to be a lot more just me, which is really weird because I don't like streaming by myself. I feel like I'm not good at streaming by myself. I need someone to carry on a conversation with, but I mean, we're going to try it. We're going to see how it goes. I do find it difficult to, as a streamer, you gotta kind of avoid silence. You gotta make sure that you're always talking about something, otherwise it can get boring. I feel like that's difficult to do when it's just me, because you know, it gets difficult having self.
Airstrike standing by.
But oh well, we'll give it a shot.
Airstrike on the way.
I guess I'll just fill you guys in on what's been going on. Again, a lot of my time's been taken up with college.
Mission accomplished.
Now I got football, which takes up an incredible amount of time. I mean, I got every day from 4 to 7. I got games every Saturday, film and practice on Sundays. And it takes up a lot of time. In fact, this is the only day where I don't have anything to do for the rest of the season because it's a bye week. So today I don't have any classes, I don't have any practice, I don't have nothing to do, and then this is the last day I will have that until the end of the season. So until November, I am busy every single day. And that's college. It's a good time. I also wanted to hit the depot because they released 2 packs, or 2 operations, Copperhead and Lion Strike, which I've delved a bit into, but I haven't put a lot of my time into it, and I really want to build up Copperhead, because I want Price, but Days of Summer is also out right now, and I want to build that up while I still have the chance. That's probably what we're going to do. Ah, man. It is nice being back, though. This streaming has always given me purpose. And it's purpose that I've been needing. Even if, like, let's say nobody watches this stream. You know, like, on the chance that one person gets, I mean, I feel like I've done something, you know. I feel like I've made progress on something. I feel like I've done something important, you know. That's what streaming's all, it's all about you guys. Because, I mean, I can play games all day long, or not all day long. I can play games essentially any free time by myself, and it's like whatever. But I feel like when I'm streaming to you guys, it's just there's a reason I'm doing it, and that makes it a lot better. I also picked up the Challenger kit for my ARs, which is just beautiful, gorgeous, really. Anywho. Bop. Bop. Alright, that was stupid of me. To ruin someone's day. Oh. Never mind. Oh boy. I do want to do a lot of streaming of Call of Duty. Because I feel like it's a fairly easy game to stream. Like, you know, you can just play and, like, you know, over and over. You know, it's just a very simple and fun game to play. I don't plan on playing Infinite Warfare anymore, just because I hit max prestige, and once I hit max prestige, I kind of... But, of course, MWR, I'm only like Prestige 5, so I do want to keep playing this. I have a lot of single-player games I could stream, that I kind of want to. Like, I know the 3 Reaper of Souls edition came out like a few weeks ago on sale, and I picked it up, and I haven't played it a lot. I kind of want to stream that. Wanted to stream, except I'm already like halfway through it, and I feel like I shouldn't really stream that point. Titanfall 2. I bought Titanfall 2 like when it first came out. I think that's when I bought it. I played the campaign and I loved it. But I didn't really do anything with it after that. Like, I just didn't play it for whatever reason. Days ago, I played a match because I'm like, oh yeah, I never really played the multiplayer, and I loved it, and I've been playing that a lot lately, so I do want to stream Titanfall. And then I picked up Madden 18 because it was on sale, and, you know, everyone was telling me I should get it, so I did. And I kind of want to stream that too, except I'm not very good at Madden, so it would be a interesting stream to watch. So again, I'm not good, so if you want to see good Madden gameplay, you wouldn't watch me. Bop. So yeah, a lot of games I want to play, and I don't know. I gotta figure out what I want to do. There's a lot of games that, like Payday, you cannot play by yourself. You have to play Payday with other people, and I miss it so much because it was always Houston, Brant, and then sometimes like Michael, and or whoever we could find, and it's the best. But now, of course, Houston can't play. I haven't seen Brant online. I have no idea what he's doing. And then Mike gets on once in a while, but of course he doesn't really play like a lot of that stuff anymore. He mainly plays like Overwatch and all that, which I also do kind of want to stream. And I want to stream Rainbow, but that you can play Rainbow by yourself, and it can be fun, but it's not nearly as fun as when you have other people, so I'm not too big on streaming that right now. Maybe if I find some other people. I know a lot of people in my college surprisingly don't play video games. It actually bothers me quite a bit. Like, I feel like I'm the weird one for playing, because everyone I talk to, like, oh yeah, you know, I got Xbox, you play Xbox? They're like, no, I left it at home because I figured I wouldn't have time for it. And all I'm thinking is, like, that's all I do with my free time. Like, if I have time where I'm not studying or something, I'm usually playing this. I definitely feel out of place in that aspect. But, you know, I can't find anyone to play these games with me just because no one's playing these games. Like, the most we do is we'll play, like, Smash out in the common room. Because one guy has a Wii U that he has hooked up in there, and we'll all, like people are just hanging out, we'll play Smash, but that's about it. It is so weird being in a place where no one plays games, but essentially. I mean, like, there are people that'll play, like, a game of Madden once in a while, but no one plays like I do. And so I feel like I'm the odd one out here, essentially. But oh well. I mean, I guess it's whatever you find fun. But yeah, and I joined a Dungeons and Dragons group. I have never played the game in my life, but there was one guy in one of my classes that said he was starting a group, and I thought, oh, you know, I've heard it was fun, I might as well try it. So, it's me, this guy Alex is the dungeon master, and then, I'm trying to think. It's his roommate Aaron, who is really into Dungeons and Dragons. This other girl from the class is named Maya, and then this girl Riley. And it's just like the 5 of us. It's a good time, but it's definitely a different mindset playing Dungeons and Dragons versus like football or anything like that. It's quite a transition I'm making here. You know, good time. Just need to find more people that play video games. And then the game wants to screw me over again. Definitely a good time though. We actually went out to Buffalo Wild Wings last night. I found out I'm like the only person in our group with a car, which that was quite a shock to me, because in high school, just about every junior and senior had a car. Like, it was very uncommon for someone to be 16 years or old, or not really 16, to be like 17 or older and not have like a car, just because it was so essential, right, to like getting around. And in college, a car is even more necessary, but very few people have it. And I don't understand how you could live without one. Like, I have made countless trips to Walmart to get stuff for my room. I've had to drive to the stadium like every day for practice. And like last night, we had to drive everyone to Buffalo Wild Wings like in my car because I'm the only one who had one. And I do not know how people survive in college without a car. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, I don't know how you get what you need. Like, I guess a lot of people carpool with those that do have cars, but I'm like, I don't know, I just couldn't rely on someone else to give me rides all the time. Like, but if you have to be somewhere, like, at a deadline and no one can give you a ride, you know? Yeah, that definitely caught me off guard. And the real problem is, my car is, I mean, it's a Camaro, right? So, it is a very comfortable ride unless you're in the back seat, which is incredibly cramped because that's how cars like that are, you know, like, they don't put a lot of space into the back just because it's not really made for, like, you know, road people, like, getting multiple people into the car. So I'm having to fit, I didn't bring Aaron, I had to fit me and Alex in the front seat, which, yeah, there's no way he would have been in the back seat. And Riley and Maya had to sit in the back, but they were, I mean, they're pretty small, so it wasn't as bad for them as it was, like, for Houston and Shyla, back in Colorado. But it is definitely difficult, and it's, I don't know if I can be carpooling people around so much. Like, it's not really me that has the problem, it's, I don't know if they can sit in the back all the time, you know, it gets pretty difficult. Oh well, I guess that's what happens when you're the only person with a car. It was a good time though. Let's see. Also got 2 roommates. Most people, well, I was given the option of either a single dorm or a dorm with roommates, and I was very tempted to go for the single because I thought it'd be nice having a whole room to myself, not worrying about like privacy and all that. And then I remember someone told me that roommates are part of the college experience. Like, it's important to have them, partially because like, I guess like they help keep you in line. So like, you know, they, like, roommates kind of keep each other from making mistakes, which I kind of get. So I figured, oh, I'll just go for the roommates. And I thought they would put me in a room with one other guy, and I'm like, okay, you know, that's, you know, that'd be nice, you know, just me, one other guy, we'll see each other once in a while, like, you know, at night. And they put me in a room, in a triple with 2 other people, which is, there's pros and cons. The pro is in half. So one side of the room, so in the room there's 3 desks, there's 3 dressers, there's 3 beds. And that's like, and there's like 3 like nightstands, and that's essentially all they give you. And like everything else, you know, you have to get yourself. So in the room, it's kind of split halfway. So on like the left side is a dresser, a bed, and a desk. And there's a desk in the middle of the room. And then on the right side, there's 2 dressers, 2 nightstands, 2 beds, and the other desk. Luckily, since I was in football, I got here like 2 weeks early. And so I had first pick at whatever I wanted. So of course I took the big half of the room. So essentially I have this whole half of the room to myself, and I feel kind of bad because I feel like it's split pretty unevenly. Like, they have to share a bunk bed on the other side, and like all of their stuff is crammed on that half of the room. But, I mean, I feel like I've earned this bed since I had to be here early, and I wasn't allowed to do any of the fun, like, you know, school events because I was doing football. So I feel like I've earned it. And now I got, you know, these other 2 roommates, and they're good people. They're There's one guy from Hawaii named Brendan. I don't see him a lot. I guess he just doesn't like hanging around the dorm, you know, which a lot of people don't like being in their dorms, I guess. A lot of them, when they study stuff, they'll go to like one of the, you know, educational buildings. I mean, which makes a lot of sense, you know, you're not really distracted. I tend to do most of my work just in my dorm just because I feel like it's more comfortable. I've got everything I need here. So I don't see Brendan too often. And then I have another roommate named Luke who's from California, actually. He's a good guy. We talk quite a bit just because we're usually in the room about the same time. He's here more often than Brendan is. So I usually talk to him more often. They're good people. I don't know how I feel about streaming when they're here. Just because I haven't told them that I stream. They don't know about it yet. They're not here right now. It's a Saturday, so they're probably out doing something, and I'm using my one Saturday off just to chill. I don't know how I feel about streaming when they're in the room, though. I have to figure that out. Like, I want to tell them, like, hey, don't make noise, because, you know, I'm streaming. I don't really want background noise. I don't even know if my mic would pick up the background noise. I feel like it's weird when they're in the room, and I'm just kind of talking to myself. Because they don't really get how the streams work, you know, they're not game people. I don't know, I got to figure that out. If you ever hear me talking to someone that you don't recognize, I'm probably just talking to one of my roommates. Although I can avoid that because I know that's really distracting during a stream. Yeah, I got some pretty good roommates. Although I do kind of wish I'd gone for the single now. I feel like I would have enjoyed having a whole room to myself, like, a lot more. You know, it's not bad having. So I don't think I mentioned my college is in Oregon, which is just the weirdest place. I can't tell you how backwards Oregon is from everywhere else I've lived. Like, the main thing is they have these gas station laws how to pump your own gas. Because I guess, I mean, some people told me it's for economic reasons, it's to create jobs, which, I mean, I don't like creating unnecessary jobs. I mean, I don't know, I kind of get it. But I guess back when cars were first a thing, people weren't allowed to pump their own gas. Like, you had to be trained to pump gas because it was flammable and all that, which makes a lot of sense. But over time, they've made gas stations a lot more safe and user-friendly, so, like, states started letting people pump their own gas. And the only two states that didn't do this were New Jersey and Oregon. And it really bothers me because I feel like I could pump my own gas, and I'm not a big fan of giving people my, like, debit card to, like, you know, because, like, you just have to hand them your debit card, tell them how much money you want, gas, and then they go fill it up, which they're just essentially doing what I've done every day for the last 3 years. And I just have to sit in my car and wait for them to do it, except I kind of, like, have to hop from, like, pump to pump, because, you know, they're taking care of multiple people. And so it'll be done filling up, and I'm just kind of sitting there waiting for them to get done because I'm literally not allowed to, like, touch anything on the pump. Which I feel is unnecessary, and I also found in order to pay, like, you don't tip the gas station attendants unless you want to, unless, like, some of them will, like, clean your windshield and stuff, which I really do like. And if they do that, I'll probably tip them, like, a couple dollars just if they do something, like, extra, because they're only required to pump your gas. But in order to make up, hike the gas prices up. So it's like twice as much here as it was like in Colorado. Which, my car has pretty poor gas mileage. It's like, I think on a good day, like 20 miles to the gallon. And so of course, like, I'm filling up gas a lot, and I have been going through quite a bit of money in gas. Like, I don't even drive around that much, but gas is so expensive. It gets pretty taxing after a while. There's nothing I can do about it. The only other real problem is, like, I remember the other night I was out driving and I realized I needed gas. Like, I checked my thing and it said, like, my fuel range said I could only go like another 15 miles before I, you know, ran out of gas. So I'm kind of like freaking out. I'm like, okay, I need to, you know, like, go and fill up. And then I realized it was nighttime and there was no gas station attendants working, like, at any of the gas stations I was going by. So I couldn't get gas, and that like really freaked me out because thinking, you know, like what am I supposed to do now? And I guess there is a rule for motorcyclists that if it is between like 12, like if it's between like midnight and 6 a.m. and there's no one there, you can pump your own gas if you're a motorcyclist, which I'm not, but I mean, I don't know. So just like the next day, I had to make sure I got up earlier so I could go out and get gas before I went anywhere. And it's not that big of a deal, but it does bother me just because I kind of get worried if there's a situation where I need gas and I can't get it, because I can be arrested. So I'm not a big fan of that. That is really the biggest weird thing about Oregon. Also, there's no sales tax, which is great, to be honest. I mean, you know, sales tax can really add up over time. I do like that. There's also not a single Chick-fil-A anywhere in Oregon, except I think Portland, someone told me. Except I looked it up on the GPS, and it said the nearest Chick-fil-A was 17 hours away. I think it was in Washington. And I can't tell you, like, I've been craving Chick-fil-A so much lately, and there's nothing I can do about it. I essentially, anytime I crave Chick-fil-A, I have to go to Wendy's and order a chicken sandwich, like the closest thing I can get, and it's not even close at all. So yeah, Oregon is definitely a culture shock for me, essentially. Like, everything's normal except for these fairly major things. Thing, like, definitely, like, that really bothers me. Yeah, it's been quite the transition. Oregon is such a new place. And I'm actually in Salem, which is the capital, and my college is actually across the street from the Capitol building, which is cool, but Salem, I'm not a big fan of Salem. It is cramped, it is crowded, it isn't taken care of very well, and that's where I live now. Oh well. I'm trying not to complain, you know. Although I have noticed, like, everyone here is essentially from Oregon. There's very few people from like places other than that, just because, to be honest, like, no one knows about this school unless you live around it. The only reason I came here was because one of the coaches offered to asked me to, he's essentially recruiting me for football. I thought, oh, that'd be cool, you know, play football in college, and that's the reason I came out here. But, you know, like, people have to have pretty specific reasons to come out here if they don't live in any of the nearby states. Which I don't. Of course, I was from Colorado, which was the weird thing. Yeah, school's real nice. Very well taken care of. They definitely care about their image, because I guess since they are so close to the Capitol building, they kind of expected to maintain this appearance of, you know, order and, you know, like, cleanliness, which totally makes sense, and, you know, they do a really good job of that, which I appreciate. You know, it's not like this school is just opposite of the rest of Salem. Like Salem isn't taken care of very well at all, but the school is like really nice, so most people don't even leave the campus. I'm not a big fan of leaving campus, so I try not to. But then, of course, like, I have to go to Walmart and stuff to survive. That's what you do. It's not a bad place. It's good times. I know when I first got here, I felt really, like, alone, because I don't have any family or anything in Oregon. I don't know anybody west of Colorado. Like, I don't have a single contact anywhere west of Colorado when I got here. And I felt like, I was like, oh, you know, like, can I do that? Would I be able to stick out, like, in a completely new place, not knowing anyone, and, like, making such a big transition? I was pretty nervous, and then, of course, during football camp, I got to know guys on the team, especially the freshmen. You know, like, we kind of had, like, that freshman thing, like we're all in this together, you know? And that made it easier, definitely. And then, of course, we have So, at the school, it's called Willamette, by the way. They have this rule that you're supposed to take this class called a colloquium, which there's all different kinds of colloquium classes over different subjects. So there's like one on, I think it was like, what was it? Like gender, like the differences between gender and society or something like that. It's not really gender studies, something similar. And there's one about like, you know, different religions aspects on like the afterlife and stuff like that. And the one I'm in revolves around the Silmarillion, which is like, I guess, a prequel kind of to Lord of the Rings. I guess it's actually a prequel to The Hobbit, because The Hobbit is a prequel to Lord of the Rings. But it's pretty cool because I'm in this class that revolves entirely around like Lord of the Rings style stuff, which is pretty neat. And I guess the point of the class isn't actually the subject that you're working on. I guess the point of the class is to, you know, teach you how to write in college, teach you how to, you know, teach you how to like do things the way that colleges expect you to. Like they have you write papers and revise them. They teach you how to like talk in class because a lot of it is like discussion. And then the only reason the subjects are there is to give you something to talk about. So you definitely get along really well with everyone in my colloquium. The weird thing is, it is such a transition going from this class full of people that do nothing but talk about Lord of the Rings, going to like football practice where nobody like even read Lord of the Rings. And then I also have to make a transition from football practice to Dungeons and Dragons, which is just two completely opposite like demographics. It is the weirdest thing. Like, you know, full of testosterone and crap. Like everyone's real, you know, they're all men. And then like at Dungeons and Dragons, they're nothing like that. So I have to do a lot of like culture transitions every day. Yeah, colloquium's real fun. Talked to some people in there. The girl Riley that was on Dungeons and Dragons, I hung out with her a lot. She's good peeps. Alex, I kind of only really hung out with during Dungeons and Dragons. And then Maya is also in that colloquium. Actually, everyone in the Dungeons and Dragons group is from my colloquium except for Aaron, and the only reason he's there is because he's Alex's roommate. It's definitely a good time. It's a very interesting class in that I feel like it can be important, you know, learning how to make this transition into like college style of writing and all that. But at the same time, I feel like I don't need this class. I feel like I really wouldn't take it if it wasn't mandatory. And I also have a psychology class in programming. And programming's a lot of fun. Yeah, college has been an interesting time, but I have spent so much time trying to get into college. Again, I could not stream at all. I had no time to stream, especially during football camp. Like, from 8 in the morning till 9 at night, I was, like, doing football stuff. And the game screws me over. And then, like, after I got home from football, I'm just so exhausted I couldn't do anything. So, I do apologize. I know it's been a couple months, actually, because I had to take a break during the end of high school just to make the transition. I feel bad. I was really trying to stay consistent, and then I just dropped off, and now I'm trying to come back, which I'm sure all of my viewers at this point have forgotten, essentially. But, you know, if I could start streaming, getting people to come back, watch the streams, I feel like it'd be a lot better. Definitely have a good time. And most of the stream, I realize, has been me just kind of, like, venting about, like, everything that I've done lately. But, again, I feel like my streams are a lot better when I have other people to talk to. I feel like I can hold a conversation a lot better when there's other people to converse with, but of course I cannot do that with Houston or anyone, and I don't know anybody at this college that plays any of these games, so I'm essentially out of luck there until I can find someone to stream with me, which is a process, because I don't just like, oh, you play Call of Duty, cool, I'll stream with you. It's like, I have to know them, I have to know whether they'd fit in the stream, and when I was streaming with Houston, I'd already known Houston for like 2 or 3 years at that point, so like, knew him pretty well. And same thing with Bran. I knew Bran for 2 years when I was streaming with him. And then Michael for about like half a year, I think. But like we knew each other pretty well, and you really have to get a feel for if you can, like, if you could have a entertaining enough stream with them, and it takes time. So as of right now, I haven't even met another person who plays these games. So finding someone to stream with is going to be a challenge, but I'm going to try because it was all about you guys, and I'm trying to give you the best quality that I can, which requires a lot of effort. That is going to take time. Until then, you get me, which I know you're not really a fan of because me streaming alone doesn't really work as well. Oh. Oh, please. No!
We've lost that round, but it's not over yet.
Can't even remember what I was talking about now. That crushed my spirit. It was so close.
Switching sides.
Yeah, college has been a good time. I'm going to try streaming a lot more. I want to try daily. I feel like that's really quite a challenge.
Destroy the objective.
Streaming daily is going to be difficult. In fact, right now, it seems so easy right now just because, like, I have nothing but free time today. I have to remember to stop crossing that bridge. I have nothing but free time today, but this is the only day where I have nothing but free time. Every other day, classes and football and all that. So I'm definitely going to make the attempt. At the very least, I do want to do weekly, because I feel like I could find a time during the week. And I feel like if I can get that going, then at least I have something. The other problem is that the internet here likes to cut out at random times. And it's really weird because the internet will cut out for a second, right? Like, just for a second, it'll just, like, disconnect, and then it'll reconnect, like, you know, like, in another second. And when you're doing something like watching a movie online, or, like, watching YouTube or something, it's not a big deal, because, like, you know, it cuts out, and it cuts back in, and it loads, you know, like, the video's already kind of, like, loaded a bit, so it doesn't really change. But when you're doing something like playing Modern Warfare, if you disconnect, the game, you know, it's like no internet connection. So even though it's only for a split second, it like kicks you out and you have to sign back in. I have no idea what it will do to the Twitch stream because I have not streamed yet on this internet, and I'm always scared that it's going to cut out before the stream is finished.
Good job, team. Get ready for the next round.
So if the stream ever just kind of ends abruptly, that's why. Although I'm really going to try and avoid that because that's very unprofessional.
Defend the objective.
So I will try to avoid that, but again, if it happens, that's why.
UAV is online.
I want to start editing my videos too. I have a computer now that's actually got pretty good specs on it. I feel like I could definitely do editing on it, but I've never been very good at editing. I want to find someone who does. There's like, you know, like film classes here of people who do stuff like this. So I'm thinking if I could find someone to edit for me, I feel like they'd do a much better job, and you know they could definitely do it a lot better. So until either I get around to editing or I can find someone else who does, I'm gonna have to upload these raw, which I don't like doing because it's not nearly as good as if I were to edit. I'm kind of out of options, I guess. You know, I don't know. I gotta try something because I don't have like a capture card process. I don't use anything like that. I really just stream it on Twitch and then upload it from Twitch straight to YouTube. There's ways that you can like get the footage off of your Twitch streams and like computer, you know, like that lets you edit them. And I might have to see about that because being in college, I'm poor and I can't afford anything, so I have to work with what I got. So we'll see about that. But again, as of right now, it's just going to be raw uploads, which I know you guys aren't a fan of either. You guys, you know, tell me my streams are pretty long. You know, it's hard to like maintain focus on a video for that long. Like right now, it's at like 40 minutes, and I totally get that. You know, that's on me. So I will definitely try to fix that. I will see what I can do, and I will work through it but until then, it will be raw uploads. No one expects you to watch the full video, but, you know, you watch what you want. You know, you guys do what you wish. Nice. And I think now would be a good time to end it.